Okay, here we are again. We're still up in Fog Island and at Mongrel, and I just kind of wanted to. So I'm hanging out here for a little bit for a couple reasons. Um, we got the characters we were going to recruit, and we got Beep and Shrike in our crew, and we bought some stuff for Beep at the Shinobi Trader and all that. But that's one of the reasons why I'm staying here is because the Shinobi Trader's here, and I want to try to get some more backpacks. I may not stay long enough to get backpacks for all of the characters, but if I can, I will. If it's taking too long and I get bored, I'll just leave and move on, and we'll deal with that and figure it out later. But the one thing I wanted to point out, so I think I pointed out. I don't know if I did point out, but there are buildings. Obviously, we bought that building in the way station. There's buildings and cities you can buy a lot of times I will do what I'm doing at the other way station right now if we ever get back there. I kind of went on a total tangent, but our goal is to get back there. But there's a building here for 14,000 cats that you can buy that's really big and has a lot of space to build stuff in. So this is Mongrel's a great location to get both some combat experience with some lower level enemies to get your guys a little better at fighting, although there's some risk with them potentially getting eaten again. But if you figure out how to manage that and keep an eye on it, it's okay. You can deal with it. The other thing is that there's a lot of great stores here. You have books you can buy. There's armor. You can pretty much everything you need is in Mongrel. It's pretty sweet location actually, and it's away from like the Holy Nation and the Empire. So if you're trying to be kind of neutral at first, this is a great spot to hang out. But anyways, I kind of started doing what we were, you know, gonna do with the Zoomy back in at the way station, which we will continue with, I think, if we ever get back there, which I plan to do. But what I went ahead and I bought this little shack for 2,000 cats, and it has enough space to do. It was able to do two things. So this is kind of to just go over how to automate some like income collection, if you will. So we have a Zoomy. I went ahead and built a small research bench here, and we already had done the research or spent money on some of the research, so we were able to just go ahead and start it here, even though we spent it way back at the other location. We can, it's spent, so now we can uh, the the books are spent on it, so we can do research here. We can also buy more books while we're here at one of these guys. I think this guy, the Tech Workshop, he sells them, so we can do add more research to our list and have her do it while we're here. But the main thing, so that's going on. I have her doing that, so she's busy. I have a couple people like uh Hobbs is doing some locksmith training. So is Boop. They're using those locksmiths. I think Beep's doing some training and whatnot. That keeps them busy. That's one thing I always try to do is like keep characters busy until at least until you're like fully established and you have like a base with everything you need and everything's kind of like just set to run unless you're taking people out to go explore around. You can just let them sit or just automate and do certain things. But there's a lot of this is one of the other reasons I like Mongrel because it's kind of like that way station location. There is a bunch of copper out here. It's kind of a little ways from the gate. It's far enough away that and there is a fog. I think this is where we went down initially and got kind of like into a fight, and it turned out okay. But there is a fogman den down just down the into this valley right here and we're just above it. So the fogmen will cruise through here in hordes and groups and attack us from time to time, and we just have to keep an eye on that to make sure it doesn't get out of hand. And we're close enough to the gate. The guards won't see this happening over here and us getting attacked and coming out. So if we do start to get attacked and we feel like we're getting overwhelmed, we definitely need to try to get back to this gate, and then we can get these guys to come out and help fight and kill those guys off because their whole job is to protect the city. So that's kind of it. So, but what I wanted to point out is now that I have these guys doing their thing, and these like Rez is coming back now from dumping stuff off. So she's set to operate the copper mine, and she's also set to come up here and she's putting so what they'll do is they'll mine it to 5. They'll collect the copper into their inventory and they'll run it back up here and put it in storage. What that does for me, and now I don't have to like pay attention to is it full? Like I have, I got 3, 4, 5, 6 people out here mining copper. I don't have to pay attention to did it get full? Did they stop mining? Are they just sitting around doing nothing, not knowing what to do anymore? They're basically set to automate now. They'll do this until the copper storage is full and the copper that they're mining, like when this fills up to five, um, once this fills to five, they'll collect it and run back. But if the storage back there's full, they'll come back out here and mine this to five. So that gives me a steady income of copper. It's not a huge income, but I'm gonna collect it quickly enough that it's enough like every day if this I'll definitely get enough every day to buy two things. Food, because we need to buy food, because we don't have a way to make food yet. And we can go trade with the Shinobi trader and get backpacks. So we'll get enough stuff to get all that going. The other thing I need to put one in here yet, because everybody's starting to get hungry, I think, or we're gonna need food at some point. But um, one of the things we'll do is we can build a food store, and you don't have to assign a job for that at all, but we can go buy food and put it in the food store, and then it's kind of like having food in your backpack. And this is what you would do at your base, but since this is in the city, we can do the same thing. We'll put the food store here in our building that we own, and then our characters can go. And when they get hungry, they'll just automatically just go and feed themselves and they'll eat. It's kind of like having food in your backpack. So you don't have to like go around and like I also don't have to micromanage, make sure these guys have food, these guys in these different squads have food, all that stuff. Oh, that's another thing too. I don't know if I mentioned and talked about this. So with food, the other thing to keep in mind, the characters will eat food out of each other's backpacks. So if from the same squad, but these people are like Azumi's in her own squad, so it doesn't really make sense. But if she's in another squad with other people, even if like one of these people was right next to her with a backpack full of food, she doesn't eat out of their backpack. So if you have a character as you thought you had enough food for them and they're getting hungry, you might want to, it might be, maybe it's because they're in their own squad and that squad doesn't have any food. So these are like considered squads and they only eat food from each other out of the same squad's backpack. But if I have a food store, I don't have to worry about that. I can just put one here and they'll just automatically come and eat and they'll be good. So we're just going to hang out here for a while. My goal at the moment is we want to continue. I haven't gotten too distracted for what I wanted to do. Basically, we're going to swing down around this way and then probably head back. Our way station is over here. So it doesn't seem that far, but it's pretty far away. And it's going to take a while to get there. So there is one more. There's this is the swamp. You can get a bunch. There's a like at least three free characters you can also recruit in the swamp. So I think total that I know, I didn't count them all on my hand or anything, but I think in the game that I know of, there's probably at least somewhere between 12 to 15 free characters you can get or near free because there's a couple that cost a little bit of money. Like there's another guy I didn't even bother with up here in Shobatai named Els, who's a Shek, and I didn't get him. But we do want a Shek, so we're gonna head down and get a Shek at some point. That'll be what our next thing we'll do is. But for now, we're just gonna kind of hang out here. Maybe not for too long, but I wanted to get at least a couple more backpacks and then get back to my other location because we don't have like the Shinobi traders are probably all dead up here and close by and stuff and that's unfortunate and all, but really, I'm kind of getting to the point where I really don't need the Shinobi traders anymore, or I won't soon. They really become not that important to me. So I'm just going to try to get the backpacks I need, and then get out of this joint. If I don't get them, it's getting too tedious. I'll just move on. There's other backpacks that are pretty good or equivalent that I can buy just at other traders. It just cost me more money, but I'm very very close to the point. Like I say that I have forecasts. Anyways, but I'm really getting very close to the point where I'll probably have like a good amount of money just flowing in, and I don't have to even think about it or worry about it anymore. Anyways, um, uh, uh, that's that. I just thought I'd give a quick update, kind of talk about. Really, the goal here was just to talk about how you can automate mining and processes. you'll start doing a lot more of that. And once you build a base, you start like telling people to do different operations and stuff like that, so you can keep things fluid. Now you can like just micromanage everything. You go, okay, go here. This guy, go do this. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to stop you from doing that. But I kind of like the feature of assigning jobs and just being able to like I can rearrange a job to you. Like I can make like for Azumi, I could say, I don't want you to go medic anybody. I want you to do this as your highest priority. So I can just move jobs around and reprioritize them. Um, and you can and so it's kind of cool because it's sort of like if you're familiar with doing anything with computers and doing scripts or programming at all, you just have to think in that manner. Sometimes it gets fun. You're trying to troubleshoot how to get people. You're like, why is that guy doing that and not doing what I thought he should be doing? You got to look at the jobs and think through, like, okay, you should do this, then this, then this, and I don't know. I'm a nerd, so I guess I find that kind of fun to do for whatever reason. And then the rest of it, it's just kind of the whole aspect, the adventure of it, and going out and getting into hair. I was hoping that Fogman situation was going to get a lot hairier than it did. We kind of lucked out with it. I don't know. That just is the way it goes. Sometimes everything just goes south. Oh, there you can see like there's someone over there getting eaten. Not one of my people, but some probably escaped servant that's out here, and he's getting eaten and he's screaming his head off as he's been munched away. It's just pretty terrifying if you thought of it really happening to somebody. But there's bad words and everything in the game, so don't be offended. I'm sorry if that offends you, but I think you can turn those off, by the way, if you want to. But if that offends you, but yeah, there's a lot of bad language. Not a lot, but it exists in the game. Anyways, that's that, and we'll 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 let you. I'll probably just if something really cool happens or something worthwhile happens, I'll try to grab it. But otherwise, I'll probably just show when we get to the next place. There's one more character I want to grab who's a free character that I want to get, and maybe another one that is a pay for character that I might get also, just so we have a couple other guys, and then we'll get back to the way station, and from there we'll set up like a home, like I said, homebodies that are doing some homebody research and some other stuff, and then send other people out like treasure hunting and adventuring and doing some battle and a lot more combat and stuff.